Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we're going to discuss another National Lampoon college film. Today we're going to discuss National Lampoon Presents Dorm Daze, starring Cameron Richardson, Tony Denman, Boti Bliss, Edwin Hodge, Patrick Renna, Chris Owen, Tatiana Ali, Danielle Fishel, Randy Spelling, and Jennifer Lyons. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said in the introduction, we're going to take a look at another National Lampoon college film. This one is entitled National Lampoon Presents Dorm Daze. And our movie takes place at McMartin Hall, a co-ed dormitory at Billingsley University. The students are finishing up their finals and they're gearing up for their winter break. Styles McPhee has decided to help his brother Booker lose his virginity by hiring him a hooker. Styles goes off and tells the entire dorm about it, but Booker is in love with Rachel, a girl who lives down the hall, and he wants his first time to be with her. Marla and Lynne are two gossips that live in the dorm and are upset about the fact that Styles has hired a hooker. And after talking to everyone about it, they decide to go yell at Styles. Adrienne is busy trying to avoid Claire because she lost her favorite handbag, as well as Newmar, a guy she made out with the night before because she was depressed when Foosball didn't notice her flirting with him, because unbeknownst to her, Foosball is gay. Meanwhile, Pete meets with his friend, Cliff, who is just coming back from losing all of his money in Las Vegas. And Pete lets him stay in his dorm room until he gets off work so that they can then head back to their hometown. Jerry has just received a letter stating that an appeal for her scholarship didn't go through, when all of a sudden she opens up a package that has a handbag inside of it and a note from somebody named Lorenzo saying that the bag is for Brittany. Jerry calls the phone number on the note and talks to Lorenzo, who arranges to meet her at the campus square. Jerry then heads to the meeting place, and as she waits for Lorenzo, she looks through the handbag and finds a pouch filled with money. She starts to leave when Lorenzo appears and begins to talk with her, believing that Jerry is Brittany, and Lorenzo wanting to talk to her about the job that she was hired for, as well as other possible jobs. So Jerry decides to take Lorenzo back to her dorm room, unaware that the two of them are being watched. When Dominique, a French foreign exchange student, shows up at the dormitory, Styles and Marla think that she is the hooker, which causes Styles to grab her and take her to the woman's room to freshen up, while he goes and tries to get Booker ready for her. Marla and Lynne go to see Foosball, and they overhear him talking to Tony about a play, and they think, because of the conversation, that Tony got Claire pregnant, wants an abortion, and is beating her for not getting one. While all this is going on, Dominique the hooker shows up with her pimp bodyguard, Ted, and calls Styles' phone, but instead gets Foosball due to their phones accidentally getting switched. Foosball goes to get her and tells her that Wayne, who is expecting Dominique, the foreign exchange student, isn't home and has her wait in his room. Styles goes and gets Dominique, the foreign exchange student, and brings her into the room, but when she seems reluctant to do anything, he begins to haggle with her. But She ends up knocking him out and trapping him in the closet. Booker, having had enough of Styles' shenanigans, goes to Rachel's room. Meanwhile, Tony and Adrienne are going to rehearse their lines for the play when Claire shows up, causing Adrienne to quickly hide in Tony's room. Claire wants Tony to hit her in the stomach to prove how ripped her abs are, but Tony is hesitant to do it. When Claire insists that he does so, she is caught off guard when Marla and Lynne say hello to her. Tony and Claire then attempt to explain what is happening, but Marla and Lynne quickly grab Claire and head off without her. They go into Pete's room and find Cliff sitting there reading, but they ignore him because Pete said that he doesn't speak any English. So they proceed to talk to Claire about Tony beating her and the abortion. When Claire tells them that she isn't pregnant, this makes Marla and Lynne think that Tony got somebody else pregnant. So Claire agrees to go get Tony in order to explain everything. When she gets to Tony's room, she overhears Tony and Adrienne rehearsing, but she doesn't realize that it's a play. So she goes and tells Marla and Lynne that Adrienne is the girl that Tony got pregnant. When they go to look for her, Marla manages to lock Tony out of the dormitory. Adrienne sees them and manages to hide, but is forced to confront Newmar as a result, and she finally tells him that he was simply a drunken hookup. Feeling depressed, Newmar goes to see Foosball, and when he mentions that he bought a French sausage to eat with Adrienne, Foosball suggests going to see Dominique, since she is French. When Newmar enters into Wang's room, he sees Dominique, the hooker, but they have major miscommunications, so he ends up leaving. Adrienne is in the laundry room, cleaning her shirt when Cliff wanders in, so she quickly grabs one of Tony's shirts from a nearby dryer and throws it on. As she leaves, she runs into Jerry, who tells her about Lorenzo and the bag, and asks for her help in getting away from Lorenzo. As they are leaving, Claire spots them and asks to talk to Adrienne, and the two girls end up fighting after more miscommunication occurs. Lynne then sees Dominique the hooker and, thinking that she is the foreign exchange student, takes her to see Cliff. After Lynne leaves, Dominique calls her escort service and explains everything that is going on. Cliff hangs up the phone and makes her a proposition to try and obtain $30,000 that is lurking in the handbag. More confusion reigns as Adrienne and Newmar each decide to write a love letter, and they end up getting switched with the letters that Cliff and Dominique, the hooker, ended up writing. Adrienne receives Cliff's letter, and having found Claire's purse, gives it to Ted as instructed by the note. Adrienne delivers Newmar's note to Foosball, while Adrienne's note ends up being left in Jerry's room, which she uses to write down a phone number for Tony. As things begin to get even more out of hand, the police end up being called by Dominique, the foreign exchange student. When the police show up, they mistakenly arrest Dominique, the foreign exchange student, but when she shows them her passport, they arrest Dominique the hooker, as well as Marla and Lynne, for having drugs. Lorenzo tries to escape from the cops, and Jerry knocks him down and restrains him until the cops are able to grab him as well. Newmar then confesses to Adrienne that he wrote the poem for her, and they realize that the purse that they have has all of the money. They walk off, deciding to give some of the money to Jerry for her tuition, and then use the rest to take a trip to Vegas. Meanwhile, Wayne takes Dominique, the foreign exchange student, back to his room, and as she goes to the bathroom, he receives a phone call from campus security who say that they have the real Dominique downstairs with them and that she was mugged and had all of her things stolen. The fake Dominique is then shown walking away while talking to somebody on the phone and ripping off her disguise. After hanging up the phone, it is revealed that the fake Dominique is actually Brittany. She sees Adrienne and Newmar walking away with the purse full of money and follows them as our movie comes to its close. I know. The story sounded very confusing. There was a lot of bouncing around from character to character. I do apologize for that. That is the way the movie is. This is a movie that I initially bought and watched back in the day because of the cast. This was post American Pie, raunchy, teenage, college comedy, very much in the vein of American Pie. You figure you've got Patrick Renna, Ham from The Sandlot, in here. He is Styles. You've got Chris Owen, the Shermanator, is in this. You've got Tatiana Ali, fresh off of the, well, not fresh off, but from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You've got Danielle Fishel, Topanga from Boy Meets World. You've got Randy Spelling, Tori Spelling's younger brother. You've got Jennifer Lyons. You've got all these great young, at the time, actors and actresses, and just thrown into this, like I said, American Pie-esque raunchy teen comedy. You know, I'm not a huge fan of American Pie 2, and I know we'll get to that at some point, franchises, whatever. I'm not a huge fan of American Pie 2. I feel like National Lampoon's Dorm Days is everything American Pie 2 wanted to be. I enjoy National Lampoon's Dorm Days. I think it's fun. Yeah, it can be confusing if you listen to the description, but if you're watching the movie and you're watching everything unfold, man, you're caught up with everything that's going on and all the characters, and watching Styles try to get Booker hooked up, and watching Marla and Lynne being gossipy little bitches, and watching, you know, Jerry try to get over on Lorenzo so she can save her scholarship, and watching Claire and all of that stuff, like, and then at its heart you've got Adrienne and Newmar, and you've got the geeky kid who wants the gorgeous girl, and he knows he's out of her league, but he still wants her, and at the end of the movie he's able to get her because she loved the poem that he wrote so much and wished somebody would write that for her, and then she finds out it was written for her. And somebody does feel that way about her. And she realizes that Newmar is a little bit more than what he appears on the surface. And again, can't judge a book by their cover. This is a fun movie. I enjoy it. When it comes to my rating for National Lampoon's Dorm Days, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's far from the perfect movie. It doesn't even deserve to be in the 4-star echelon. But for the cast alone, 3.5 stars, I feel, is well worth it. Their performances are hilarious. I definitely recommend, if you are fans of any of these people, check this movie out. Rent it, buy it, stream it, however you can find it. But give it a watch because I think it is worthy of your time and your effort. What do you think about National Lampoon's Dorm Days? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's have that conversation. Let's have that discussion. Let's get into this National Lampoon's Dorm Days. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews as we discuss the 6th episode in the Disney Plus original series She-Hulk Attorney at Law, starring Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. You're not going to miss out on that right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right here on an all-new installment of Renegades Reviews when I discuss the latest chapter in the She-Hulk Attorney at Law saga. To all my loyal fans and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me here today. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've got that notification bell turned on. That way you're alerted anytime a brand new video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. That way you're alerted anytime we go live right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Make sure you share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, movie lovers, cinephiles, fans of American Pie, fans of the National Lampoon movies, fans of Boy Meets World, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Sandlot, Son-in-Law, fans of Patrick Renna, Chris Owen, Danielle Fishel, Tatiana Ali, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this video and this review, share this video with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in the YouTube algorithms so that I can eventually get monetized, make some money on this endeavor. Thank you once again for joining me here today. It means more to me than you'll ever know, and I will see you guys next time.